just took our head sail down, but this will give you an idea of how intense it is out here. You can see this catamaran next to me, how they're reefed. All the sails are reefed. Well, this is it. Possibly one of the last sails on this boat for me. We just left Nassau and now we're heading to the, what do you call it? The Northwest Passage. We're near Chub Key, then we're gonna head over toward Gun Key. Then we cross over the Gulf Stream and then we get into Fort Lauderdale. All in all, it's gonna be about a 30-hour sail. 150 miles, give or take. But it's pretty awesome to be on the bow of the boat. Going pretty much downwind, riding the waves, surfing the waves down. Show you what we got here. So my adventure that I've pretty much planned for the last year is coming to an end. Probably the biggest takeaway is on a sailboat you can't make an itinerary. You just got to go with it and find out what happens. I had a great time. I think if I just set out and kind of let the itinerary grow naturally, probably would have been less stress, more enjoyment on the ICW, for example, when we first started this trip, rather than stressing out about going faster, more miles faster, that kind of thing. But all in all, I think it all worked out for the best. I'm actually glad that we turned around from Cuba. We had a couple days in the Exumas that I really will cherish, as far as being able to see some really cool things underwater. I got to do some pole spear fishing, swimming with the lemon sharks, which was pretty cool. And just all in all, the Exumas is just a magnificent place. So I don't regret anything. I set out and said this is, I wanted to have a sailing adventure, really, and I had that. Learned a lot along the way. Learned the multi-day open ocean sailing. I made a friend out here. It's a bird. Keeps flying by. I'm pretty sure that he knows that I'm saying hi. I'm trying to give him some potato chips. Come on. But it's also nice to have that downtime where you're able to jump off the back of the boat into a coral reef and explore, snorkeling, scuba diving, fishing. That's kind of the sailing adventure that I set out to do. So anyway, it's not done yet. And enjoying this here. We're probably 50 miles north of Nassau. No land in sight. Thousands of feet of water below us. Anyway, let's keep the adventure going, and we'll see what happens in Fort Lauderdale. So we're getting ready to get into the Northwest Passage of the Bahamas, right here from Chubb. Well, it's actually Chubb Key, all the way over to a place called Gun Key, and it's a bank that's like 10 feet or less, so it's a bit dicey, especially, well, most people think you're crazy if you try to go through at night, but we're entering it right as the sun's setting, so we're on the crazier side. You got coral heads and whatnot, but Dave's done it many times, he says, so he said it's a bit nerve-wracking throughout because you got different depths and whatnot. 10 is like maximum depth, you know, and some of the charts say down to 5.5 feet, which is less than my draft here, so and you can't see the coral heads at night. Nonetheless, we're going to go for it. We're going to be living on the edge, living dangerously for the evening. But we're about 2 miles to go until the bank starts. Right now, we're still in like 1,000 feet of water, but it's a dramatic drop-off. Here you can see the area we're in now, which is just over 1,800 feet deep. But then you can see this dramatic drop-off to under 10 feet. But on a positive note, we're sailing right into this beautiful sunset. It doesn't get much better. So for the last night on the boat, well, the last night of underway, most likely, we've done Dave's gone above and beyond, and he's done some reminiscent of Maryland with some crab cakes, but he's used canned tuna.
But because the boy doesn't have a spatula on the boat, they stuck to the bottom of the pan, and
a lot of tuna, a lot of tuna patties.
Yeah, but they're going to be tomorrow too. Yeah. I know how you eat.
So it's about 5 a.m. and we're in this northwest channel. So far so good. I tried to show you some of the stars above because it's just incredible, but the camera's not picking them up. Anyhow, yeah, we're getting ready to hit, but we're getting ready to go over the sandbar that's one of the more shallow areas. 6 or 7 feet. That's what this sandbar is supposed to be. We've been going over about 8 or 9 feet most of the way, most of the night. And we've probably got about an hour and a half left on the Northwest Channel before we hit the open ocean again for the Gulf Stream. So, making good progress. Alright, sun's coming up as we're coming up on Cat Key, and we're getting ready to go through the Cat Key Cut and make our way to the Gulf Stream. This is the lighthouse on Gun Key. It's just north of Cat Key. The two islands are separated by a small cut right here that we're going to have to go through. Final treat right about a couple hours before we get into Fort Lauderdale. Get some chocolate chip cookies going. If you look closely in the distance, you can see the high rises on Florida's coast. It's been very calm in the Gulf Stream, and we've motored most of the way because of no wind. There we go, some makeshift improvised cookies in an oven that doesn't have a thermometer, so not too bad. Just as I was about to enjoy a cookie, we realized we had just passed over into a Navy unauthorized military zone. So we had a little visit from a Navy patrol boat. They just told us to change course and to go around the boundary line. And then we get into Fort Lauderdale, back to lots of boats, buildings, people, and civilization. As we go under the 17th Street Bridge, reality is setting in. This is likely my last day on my boat. For more than 2 years leading up to this moment, I have lived and breathed this sailboat. The countless hours working on her in the Annapolis boatyard, then launching the boat, unforgettable experiences in the Chesapeake Bay and on the ICW, the heart pounding when I set off solo for a multi-day ocean sail, those life-changing moments when it was just me, Giraffe, and the sea. Building friendships. All right, thank you. Watching those sunsets and sunrises. The pure beauty of secluded tropical islands. Holy moly, look at this water. Yes, it was a life-changing journey. Always learning and adapting. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. After being with a boat this much, you learn every detail, every nook and cranny. The boat becomes like a comfortable old friend. So it's sad when you have to part ways, but it also means new beginnings. So just before we arrive into Fort Lauderdale, I had contacted an old friend, Paolo, seen here on some of my earlier episodes on the ICW. He's a boat broker in South Florida. He helped me list the boat for sale, and he'll show the boat after I head back to California in a rental car. Here, Dave and I do a final cleaning as I prepare to say goodbye.
We gotta get this baby stick and stand.
All right, one final goodbye for Giraffe. So leaving it here in Fort Lauderdale, we had one good potential buyer, and he's quibbling over a couple thousand. So yeah, we're not sure what his story is, but he made an offer without even starting the engine or anything. Anyhow, let's do one more walkthrough. Now the Giraffe is cleaned up. Taking everything out almost except the pirate hat, leaving this for the new owner.
It's not going to be the same without you.
Yeah. So.
It's not going to be the same without you.
Leaving some of the supplies here because there's just no room in my car, which you'll see in a second. So, one final walk here on the deck.
Everything out of here you wanted?
Yeah. So that's actually an old halyard there. Dave's all of his help throughout this whole thing. So here's the rental car. It's actually a sweet Jeep. But every inch of this thing has been taken. Got the outboard. Look at this thing. Got the broom handle brush. Got some other life jackets. Oh, check this out. Even got the oil can or the fuel canisters. Got some ropes that I bought here in St. Augustine. And even the front seat. Even the front seat is taken. I'll drive from South Florida to Southern California. Well, that's it. The end of this chapter, but only the beginning of many more chapters to come. Thank you all for joining me on this adventure. Now on to the next one. Oh my goodness. I see something here on the door. It's hilarious.